Hi, this is Tom Surzak. You're listening to Pirate FM with Paul Mansell on Marlow FM 97.5.
Surrounded down in Mexico, I left for men dead out in the streets of El Paso. I've taken some time off to head south of the Rio Grande. The sheriff and his posse wanna see me shot or hanged. Never gonna get me with that team of losers after me. Don't care how many, 'cause when the smoke clears you can drag them from the street. I wanna tell you a story that you never heard about those men I shot before I got here. Just a matter of fact, you'll be dead by the count of 5. There's no faster gone alive. Learn my skills from robbing banks and trains. Shotgun for Frank and Jesse James. Best train robberies when rich folk all go broke. And they leave each town in a cloud of fresh gun smoke. Never gonna get me with that team of losers after me. Don't care how many, 'cause when the smoke clears you can drag them from the street. I wanna tell you a story that you never heard about those men I shot before I got here. No, I ain't bragging, it's just a matter of fact. You'll be dead by the count of 5, 'cause there's no faster gun alive. You'll be dead by the count of 5, 'cause there's no faster gun alive.
Well, you know, dear listeners, I like to showcase new artists to you whenever they come onto my radar, and a guy called Tom Surzak has done just that. You just heard a track from his latest album. The album's called Call Me Ishmael, and that was a track called The Last Gunfighter, and I'm really pleased to be joined by Tom now. Hi, Tom.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. You must be really pleased because this album is a cracking album. I've played it a couple of times through since I downloaded it yesterday. There's a lot of depth there, a lot of variety, and a lot of influences. I reckon you must be a Bruce Springsteen fan.
Absolutely, yes, I am. It's interesting. I was really into prog rock in growing up. Into the Genesis and Yes and Gentle Giant and Jethro Tull type of stuff. And he came to our college right after he had been in London with the Born to Run tour. I had never heard of him before, and they had to drag me kicking and screaming to go see him. I wasn't all that interested in seeing him play, and I was like, it's not my style of music. So he comes to this small little gym in upstate New York, State University College of Oswego, and he literally blows the roof off of this gym. My jaw was on the ground the whole show. I had never even heard the Born to Run album before, and it completely changed my whole thought on music, on writing, and performing once I saw him play. And of course, I tell everybody he's been copying me for years, but truthfully, he really, really inspired a lot of the way that I write music.
You've got some really driving, trucking songs on this album, but are very reminiscent of Bruce when he's firing on full throttle.
Absolutely. The very first song on the album, Guys Like Me, which is about a stalker of all things that winds up stalking the wrong girl, really, I tried to get the Blinded by the Light rhyme scheme because I was so intrigued with that rhyme scheme that he did, but I never could get it right. He does a triplet and I just do couplets on it. But it does have the verse does follow a very similar rhyming pattern, if you will.
Guys like me are hard to find. Won't be hanging around that dirty little town forever. Guys like me are hard to find. Well, we can find you, baby, anytime. I was sitting at the bus stop watching all the rust drop as another Greyhound got away. She was sipping on a soda pop, wearing a low-cut halter top, carrying a suitcase that said Jesus saves. Well, I knew we'd both be stuck there a while, so I gave her my best go-to smile. As I made my way across the room, it sounded like a sonic boom. Said, buddy, just get out my face. Baby, don't write me off like that so fast. Don't write. Got a love that was meant to last. Baby, don't write me off like that this time. Don't write. Guys like me are hard to find. Great to be alive, decided to take a Sunday ride, and I watched her from the back of the bus. She was reading the trashy paperback, seemed unaware of my surprise attack as I made my way down the aisle of love. Well, I set myself down next to her, put my hand on her knee and whispered in her ear. Turned around as I hit the ground, I wonder what kind of woman I found. It turned out to be a real good year. Baby, don't write me off like that so fast. Don't write. Got a love that was meant to last. Baby, don't write me off this time to ride. Guys like me are hard to find. Now I'm not one to give up on a girl with a mild hang-up, so I followed when she left the bus. I knew she really wanted me, but girls like her ain't so easy, so I had to look real inconspicuous. I was right behind her at the bank. When she said hit the floor, my heart just sank. But when you point that gun right at my nose, my love for you just grows and grows. I think it's time to talk real, talk real, talk real, talk real, talk real, talk guys like me are hard to find. Won't be hanging around that dirty little town forever. Guys like me are hard to find. But we can find you, baby, anytime. We can find you, baby, anytime. We can find you, baby, anytime.
Hi, this is Tom Surzak. You're listening to Pirate FM with Paul Mansell on Marlow FM 97.5.
I'm just reading from your websites. You say on the website that you're drawn to offbeat and colourful characters, so you've included many of them in your songs. And on this CD, they range from stalkers, smugglers and outlaws to liars, losers and thieves. That's quite a good cross-section of society.
Yeah, all my friends.
So, have you always been musical? Did you sort of pick up a guitar or start singing and from an early age, or when did it all begin?
You know, first of all, I grew up in a musical family. My father was a professional musician, and he was stationed at West Point, which is the military academy up the Hudson from New York City. And he was a trombonist, wound up being the head of the band there, but it was a 125-piece orchestra, and they would put all the band people in the same living area. They called them quarters. And so the whole neighborhood was musicians. And as a child, when you'd go out and walk around, all you would hear is people practicing their instruments, and a lot of very famous musicians came through that academy band. But anyways, and I'm sure my father would have loved me to be a horn player, but, you know, I remember it's like it's yesterday. Me and a million other kids, on February 9th, 1964, turn on our television, and here comes the Beatles on Ed Sullivan. And that's the moment in time where we all decided that's what we want to do. And I picked up the guitar probably the next week, and you know, as the birds say, I learned how to play it. But my father was really supportive. At least, you know, he bought me my guitar. He bought me my very first electric guitar as well, my Stratocaster. He bought me my very first amplifier. So he encouraged me. And like anybody else, I was in garage bands growing up through high school, and eventually, as I got to college, I ditched everything and concentrated on writing my own music. So I've been writing music for, since my early teens. And one of the things I try to tell everybody is you just can't decide you're going to be a songwriter. This is something that, takes a lot of work, a lot of effort. And I've been doing it so long, and I might have thousands of songs that I've written. A lot of them are rubbish. You just throw them away. But the more you work at it, you do get some good ones in there, and you get better and better at it.
So how long did it take you to produce this album? You must have had a fair amount of time to just whittle down which songs you're going to put on the album.
That's exactly the problem. Is I had I had quite the collection to choose from, and I gave something like I don't know, 30, 40 songs out to a variety of people. And I said, hey, look, I want to do an album, and let's pick 12. And everybody came back with different lists. and it's so funny. Even today, when I've had a lot of friends listen to this album, they all come up with different favorites. It's very rare to get people liking the exact same song, which is really an honor to me. That means there's a lot of good songs on the album that people really are gravitating to. But to answer the question, it took about 4 months to record and produce the album. I got some really, really talented people in LA to help me. And I was really lucky because my daughter has an a cappella group in downtown LA, and we were sitting around at Thanksgiving, and I told her that I wanted to record this album, but I didn't know where to start, and she had an engineer that worked with their a cappella group, and she introduced me to him, and he helped me put together all the musicians for the album, which absolutely, I tapped into some of the most phenomenal musicians in LA to help me make this album a reality. Really, really super talented. And I was looking forward to going out playing live, a couple of gigs with these guys. And then, of course, COVID hit. And so, end of that idea.
Well, hopefully we're approaching a time when you will be able to do that, because hopefully within the next few months COVID will have subsided, there will be venues opening, there will be live gigs again, and I dare say you can't wait.
I'm so excited. I mean, in fact, I've been using the time pretty wisely, trying to plot for another CD and writing new songs and trying to think about, okay, if I do this again, how would I couch it, how would I change it, and so I'm kind of like excited to do another CD and then take them both out there and play live for people.
Set it and forget it. Pirate FM.
My personal favorite that a lot of people don't always hit on, which is the Winter Highland Falls, and it's very much a tongue-in-cheek reference on the title because Billy Joel moved to town one year and he recorded his Turnstile album. And on the album, he has a song called Summer Highland Falls. So it's really a poke at Billy Joel with Winter Highland Falls.
Oh, that's clever stuff. I like that.
But not too many people pick up on that. But I thought I'd toss that in. There's a lot of little things like that I threw in there.
Town died so long ago. No one noticed they moved overseas. Grab all the things you need, Wendy, and run away with me. Alright, when you take me by the hand, head out in the night, find your Neverland. Hold tight when you never let me go. It's a roller coaster ride down the back road to the lost world of rock and roll. So many others grew old and lost the race. This town became so boring, we gotta get out of this place. Boarded up, and it down the good times and moved overseas. Grab all the things you need, Wendy, and run away with me. When you take me by the hand, head out in the night, find your Neverland. Hold tight when you never let me go. It's a roller coaster ride down the back road to the lost world. Alright, when you take me by the hand, head out in the night, find your Neverland. Hold tight when you never let me go. It's a roller coaster ride down the back road to the lost world of rock and roll.
I wanted to ask you about one particular track, the one that's called Mine Torn Road. What's that about?
I joke about that. First of all, it's a triple cross is what I like to call it. It's about a double cross that goes awry, right? And it's got a nice third act twist to it, which I really liked. It does have a lot of Springsteen-esque type of rhymes to it, so I can see where you get the Springsteen side in that one too. But all the places are real. So it's a place a little bit south of me in Highland Falls, New York, and it's a real place. All of the different names are actually nicknames of people I knew growing up. So the people are real, the places are real, the story's all made up, but it's a place where there was a lot of shall we say deals were done on Mine Torn Road.
Oh, right.
And
Okay.
and the story is about double crossing somebody, and then your partner basically double crossing you, and in the end, the guy who thinks everything is lost and everything went sideways realizes he'd been conned.
Oh, wow. I like to know the story behind songs. It's fascinating.
Sitting here on Dickie's front porch, waiting for the last stragglers to come on down from Hellhole's obstacle course. The man from Bear Mountain Bridge called and said, hold 'em, you'll take a little more time. Carrador run, Carrador hide, take it real slow, let 'em inside. Say now you're the one who set the tripwire and let 'em down that winding path down to my torn road. Be careful where you're going to now. Don't turn around, look back, just let it go. Anyway, anyhow, it'll all be over soon. Just do your part, remember lock and load. Now meet you out tonight down on my torn road. Take it from the top, you'll be the only one inside. When they make the drop, it's time to quietly slip back outside. I know where to go, been down that road before, and it won't be so easy to follow us down my torn road. Brought two briefcase for the package exchange, and cowboy calmed his nerves at the fireside firing range. And I just tossed the beers, I waited for the lights to change. Seemed to double cross and said like we all had arranged. Carrador, Carrador hide, take it real slow, let 'em inside. Say now you're the one who set the trip wide and let 'em down that winding path down to my torn road. Be careful where you're going to now. Don't turn around, look back, just let 'em go. Anyway, anyhow, it'll all be over soon. Just do your part, remember lock and load. Now meet you out tonight down on my torn road. Astray. I remember those gunshots, baby, just like it was yesterday. And I was waiting on the path for you when Dickie's burst into flame. Crashing cowboy disappeared, and I never saw. And I keep reliving that night in constant sweaty flashbacks. Now I'm down in New York City, living on the other side of the tracks, where I blended into the scene. And I swear I saw you just the other day, getting out of a taxi somewhere down by JFK. So I followed you home through the smoke and the crowded subway, to find if I just buried a dream. Corridor, corridor, high, take it real slow. Let me inside, say now you the one, you the one, you the one, you the one. Down that mountain road.
This is Tom Surzak. You're listening to Pirate FM with Paul Mansell on Marlow FM 97.5.
Now, I should tell you, listeners, that if you want to find out more about Tom and, more importantly, get yourself a copy of the album, you should go to his website, and it's tomsurzak.com, and that's spelt TOMCIURCZAK. So that's tomsurzak.com. I'll say that again, TOMCIURCZAK. And it's a great website, a lot of information on there about you, some good pictures and videos. In fact, everything you need to know about Tom is there. So I dare say, hopefully in a few months' time, we could probably do a catch-up and catch you on the road, maybe.
Oh, I'd love to. I mean, I absolutely love London. I miss going to Europe right now. You know, I'm a regular to Europe. I was going once a year until this happened. And, you know, both Asia and Europe, I traveled heavily. So, and I didn't think I was going to miss it so much. But this 1 year in lockdown has really taught me that I can't sit still for this long a time.
Well, I'd planned to go to the States and Canada last year, and that didn't happen for me. I've only been to the States once. I took my family to Disney World, as you do, and we had a great time. But that's not the real America, and I'm still waiting to see the real America rather than living in a bubble. It was a nice bubble, but I'd like to probably get out and about a bit more, and certainly that's on my wish list. Probably not this year either. Maybe next year.
I do think it's starting to open up. Florida's opened up quite a bit. California, we're still locked down here, but Florida, from everybody I talked to over there, by summer, Disneyland or Disney World will be going full throttle.
Well, I hope that everything pans out the way that you want it to, and we will do a catch-up. In the meantime, I'm going to play another track from the album. Remind you, listeners, that the album is Call Me Ishmael, and this track is called Roll the Dice. Thanks very much for joining us today, Tom.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Stand at the end of the road without a plan. Always do we wind up in this spot with a future all tied up in knots. It's a tough situation, not knowing what to do. And I know we can't work it out 'cause we ain't got much to lose. Come on, baby, roll the dice. Close your eyes and don't think twice. It ain't hard to place that bet, 'cause I don't think we're done quite yet. Come on, honey, take a hit. It's too soon to fold and quit. Who knows, you may flip, but it's spin it all disappear without a trace. Not ready to give up quite yet. Just trying to find a way to keep us together. Deal a card, time to go, go, go. I'm all in to win it all. There's no way we'll ever fall and break apart, 'cause I know what your heart will say. There's no way we'll bust and break apart, 'cause I still got one card left to play, and it's gonna be our lucky day. Come on, baby, roll the dice. Close your eyes and don't think twice. It's not hard to place that bet, 'cause I don't think we're done quite yet. Come on, honey, take a hit. It's too soon to fold and quit. Who knows, you may flip an ace.